Hi guys, welcome to my 4.1.2 Relational Operators class. This is part of the operators, and in this class I'm going to teach you about equals, like if not equals, and greater or less, or like greater than or equals, less than or equals. I just going to teach you these operators, how they works. Let's get started with the equals. It means is check if two operands are equal. How we can do that? Let's get started. So we can say integer number 1 is equals 6. Then we can say integer number 2 is equals again 6. So now we can, for check, we can say bool. Bool is like true, false, Boolean, like something true is true, like if something wrong. I mean, it is about comparing. So we will check exactly our variable name can be check. Number 1 and number 2, in this case, I can open my parenthesis to just separate my job because we use their equal sign, like equals. For that, just we need to open our parenthesis, I mean, to separate job. Let's do that. And 1 equals and 2. It is true, and say count output check and see the result if it works. Okay, that's all. We wrote all of the codes. So save it. If n1 is equals to n2, which is they are already equals to each other, right? Why it is not only equals? Because equals is just for the assignment. But when you want to like check the operand, like two operands, then you need to do equals, okay? Forget Boolean value, I mean like true or false. All right, when you run that, it will give you 1. What it means this 1? 1 means is true, okay? In C++, you will see this one. 1 means is true. So let's say n1 is 8, not 6. Now, as we know, it is not equals to each other, right? N1 and N2 is not equals to each other. So in this case, if we run that again, what will happen? 0. 0 means is false, all right? So we can add not in here. We can say 1 is true, 0 is false, okay? When you see the 1, just consider about it like you did great job. I mean, something equals to each other, or it is true approach. But when you see 0, it means like something you did wrong, or just your comparing is wrong. I mean, false. I hope you get it. Let's continue with the other one. You can go up, not equals to. So now, as we see here, it is 0, it means false. Now, if we put here this mark, exclamation mark, plus like exclamation mark equals, it means they are not equals to each other. So I can say, come back to the here, equals is like things like equals each other. Let's say equals each other. And the other one, this one, this one is representing not, and this one is equals. So in this case, we can say not, by the way, make it equals, not equals to each other. Okay, so let's run it and see if it true, if it is true. When you run that, you will see that 1. Now it's changed, but our value is the same. N1 and N2, like N1 is 8, and 2 is 6. But when we try with the equals, as we see there, it's just say 0. Now it says 1 because we used like like exclamation mark equals, which means like not equals to each other. That's exactly true. So if we make the numbers same, for example, 6 is 6, like 6 equals to 6, as we did here, equals. Now, what will happen? When you save it and run that again, you'll see 0. All right? It's just checking not equality. Okay? Cool. Now let's try greater than. Check if one operand is greater than another. In this case, number 1 is 8, number 2 is 6. That's really true. Like number 1 is greater than number 2. As we can see here, we can show it like that. This is greater than, like means, okay? This relational operator means is greater than. So we can read it like in English. Number 1 is greater than number 2. It means it is true in this case. And if we run that, what it will say, what is wrong? Before ID before error expected unverified ID before, what you saying? Let's run that again. Yeah, just one. I don't know what's going on there. So it is true, as you see, right? But what if I say this is 4 and 1 is 4? In this case, it will be 0, which means false. As you see here, false. But let's do that 8, and it will be true approach, right? So the another case will be what? Let's do same things for less than. In this case, we will do that less than. Like if you make it like that, it will be less than, which is check if one operand is less than another. Okay? N1 is in this case 8 and N2 is 6. So N1 is really not less than N2, as we know, like N1 is greater than N2. But in this case, I want to make N1 is 2. Now our approach is true. So N1 is 2 and 2 is 6, which is N1 is really less than N2. So would you like to try that? You can try. Let's try that. As you see, output is 1, means true, right? As you can see below, our output is 1. So, okay, let's come here and write about them too. What can we say for that? We can say greater than, and this one is less than, right? To approach. Now we have something more. Greater and equals, less than or equals. There's two signs, and I will tell you about them right now. Let's first read about it. Greater than or equal, like checks if one operand is greater than or equal to another. So what it means, let's say it is and 1 is 6 and 2 is 6. They are same. And I want to say greater and equals. At the same time, greater than or equal. Like we just putting there two conditions. I mean, like the numbers are can be equals to each other, or the one of them, which is n1 in this case, can be greater than the another one. So in this case, if we say n1 is 6 and n2 is 6, it will be true, because in some case the conditions is just true, right? Condition is true because n1 is greater than n2, sorry, equals to n2, but so it mustn't be like greater in this case, because we have a condition, it's already true. Okay, so one of them can be true, I mean this one, greater or equals. If one of the condition true is, it will be true. So why it is like that, I will teach all of them in future classes about like why, like about, how we gonna say, I mean, it's all about logical equivalence. It's all about that. So you will learn all about that, and when you know about logical gates, so which is this gates like not, or, nor, or, and, when you learn about them, you will be 100% sure how this mechanism works. Okay? So just you need to know it is greater than or equals. So two conditions, one of them can be true in this case. So, all right, let's try that. If you see it's equals exactly, when you run that, you will see one, it means is true. And if you say for n1 is 6, it is again true, not false. Still true, as you can see, right? Okay, let's do same job. But for example, let's say 6 is 12 and 1 is 8. The both conditions are false. What will happen now? Sorry, save it. Run that again. 0. As you can see, now n1 is not greater than n2, and n1 is not equals to n2. So it is false. So let's change the sign. Let's do it now, less than or equal. So now n1 is less than or equals to n2. Okay, let's do same thing again. 8 and 8, they are equals to each other. In this case, the condition will be true, right? Because it can be like less than n2 or equals to n2, right? So in this case, they are equals to each other. 8 and 8 equals to each other. When you run that, condition will be true. 1. As you can see, this true condition. Even if you say n2 is 15 and 1 is 8. In this case, it will be again true because n1 is 8 and 2 is 15, which if we say 8 is less than n2, which is 15, it is true. And they are not equals to each other, but one condition is just our requirement in this case. When you run that, save it, and run that again, it will give you 1. It means true, as you see here, right? So what we understand in this class, we can use these operators to just compare our, for example, variables or our numbers or our strings or our whatever else you're using there. So most of the time we're using for the if conditions, else conditions, for loops, this uh, relational operators to make our conditionals good or loops in good, because we're using that relational um, operators most of the time for the conditional things. For example, if like 5 is greater than 7, sorry, 5 is greater than 3, let's do some stuff. I mean, let's write there some output. or else do another thing, else if do another thing. Like we can just make it longer with the conditionals. Okay, most of the time we're using with the conditionals. Okay, it is not, maybe I can write in here, most of the time we're using that with conditionals, right? Yeah, this is another note. Thank you so much for joining. Just you can copy, or you can take screenshot, or you can watch, you can write. I don't know how you don't practice, you can make practice, but just don't forget we use Boolean here. Bool is exactly for check like things if it's true or false. It's all about conditionals, as I mentioned you here. Most of the time we're using that with conditionals. Okay, that's all, guys. The next class will be about logical operators. They are also helping us with the conditionals part, again with the if else this loops, sorry, if else conditionals, like this guys, as you see here, like relational operators. And they are also so helpful. We're using most of them together in our projects. Okay, so see you in another class, in the logical operators. I will teach you more than this. Good day.